Part 2 was awesome.
Legendary.
We're going to keep this energy going. Dr. Swoosh, Soul to Soul.
Guys, let's go. Check it out. Part 3.
But it's like, I don't intend to stop. And I've been like this for a long time. So let's switch it up.
Okay.
I have something okay. So we talked about PEs, and you guys talked about on a previous episode, you guys talked about having sneakers outside of Nike.
Yes.
I remember there was an episode where you guys were like, we need to show love to other brands. You know, there are other brands. I'm a Nike head. That's a great great old school song. I'm a Nike head, you know, but Reebok in the 90s, they were like the little brother, and they put pressure. There was some pressure. There was some friendly competition. One of the greatest sneaker designers, Mr. E. Scott Morris. Mr. Morris designed a lot of the above the rim Reebok. So about 95 to 99%, probably closer to the 99% of my collection is Nike. But I do have a couple, you know, rarities of Reebok mixed in as well. I've given a little bit of love to Reebok. So I want to pass this one around. This is definitely a unicorn. And I want to just take a minute and kind of explain what it is that you're looking at here. So I mentioned my good friend Austin earlier, who seeded me his, you know, pair of Air Challenge LWB tennis. So this is a tennis model. It was not a general release model. This is literally like one of the oldest player samples that I have. And I don't have a lot of PEs, but this was like one of the OG KEs. You know, in the early 90s, you know, Nike and other brands were starting to show player sample mock-ups, custom embroidery and stuff. So there was a tennis player in the 90s. His name was Malavai Washington, or Mal Washington. In 92, he was a world top 10, right? So he was ranked. His claim to fame was he's the last African-American gentleman to become a Wimbledon finalist.
Wow.
And he became a Wimbledon finalist in 96, and he lost that tournament. But those who remember him, remember him very well. He was a face of Reebok. He was, you know, represented and endorsed by Reebok. This model was actually an eBay find by my friend Austin, like years ago. Never worn, never laced, size 12, autographed by Mal himself, made for Malavai Washington. So if you're going to talk like rarity, I believe this is a one of one. I've spoken to a couple people at Reebok. So it's a mashup. You've got two lacing systems here. This is really cool, like from a tech and design aesthetic standpoint. So you have the thick rope, like Air Jordan 11, like rope laces. You see how thick that is? Right? So that's going to allow like lockdown, because you're allowing for like lateral, you know, protection. And then you have your normal lacing system on the inside too. It's got the actual Hexalite technology, honeycomb on the heel, not like this artificial hex, let us sticker, actual heel hex. So it's got good tech, you know, Phylon midsole. It's very lightweight. It's provided cushioning. So I DM'd Malavai, and actually he very, you know, surprised, but Mal messaged me back. He told me this was made for him. It was his signature, but he didn't even remember it. So I don't know if he actually like wore, or if this was just prepped for him. But if you're going to talk about numbers made in my collection, this has to be one of the never worn, never laced, one of the rarest. You know, most people are just not going to care or understand, but this was a gift from a friend of mine. He entrusted it to me. It was an eBay find of all places. Love eBay, like eBay, right? So many over the years, you know, but this is one of a few Reeboks in my collection today. Wow. So you guys said that you wanted to see a little bit more to branch out, because Swoosh is in the stratosphere.
Yep.
But there were other brands that provided competition during that era.
100%.
And Reebok tennis, if you know, Reebok tennis definitely gave Nike, a run for its money, so to speak. And I wanted to pay homage to him and Reebok today with this.
Beautiful shoe. I love this. Reebok, again, we were talking about, plenty of times even off camera that Reebok should become a retro brand, in my opinion, and bring back classic styles that really put them on the map. You know what I'm saying? And this is a good representation of what Reebok was doing back in the day, right? I mean, they were doing some awesome things with the pump.
Yeah.
They were doing some awesome things with Hexalite. They were doing awesome things with the graphite that we just learned, more recently. But great shoe.
And then Bobby, who at this time, how do you have two different shoelaces? Like, that's just not common.
Yeah.
Right? Two different purposes too.
Yeah.
For so Seth, I mean that right there, that's a one of one. That's a one of one, man. Thank you. Woo.
So just switching it up, something different against the grain. I mean, we're all Nike heads here, but at the same time, it's important to pay homage to other brands, right? I mean, healthy competition stuff, and just a lot of memories.
Yeah.
And anyway, just wanted to, switch it up and bring something a little different, something unique for today.
Great point about the competition. Like, great competition creates innovation.
Right.
It challenges each other brand to do something else. And that's why we have lived through this golden era of competition. That's why we have the foam posit and the molding technology that carries like, all right, what's Nike going to do? The shrouds over here, the tongue over there, the jeweled logo over there, the Hirachi. We got a beautiful freaking set here, but let's clean this up because we got some more gems coming.
Okay.
And let's
And guys, this week we can go on for another 5 hours, but if we could just trim this down, we'll say 4.
Yeah, I mean,
four more. Wait, do we have
4 feet? Like Scottie Pippen, 4 feet?
Okay. And I was going to say 4 polling ones, but everything's been polled. Do this 4 more.
Okay.
That's cool? That's cool? Yeah. All right, cool.
Okay, so
we got the John.
We got to that. Oh, God.
The Jordan 9.
Yes.
so this pair, Father Time is undefeated at 7'6". So I got to be real careful when I even say because they're too apart.
Grab me that the toe right there.
What? Oh, man.
Yeah, midsole and these.
Yeah.
Midsole and these is gone. But I'm already in talks with somebody to.
Thumbs up. Do you need anything like this?
One hour. Okay, it's okay. I'll just let it like this.
Wowzer.
But
Now,
Talk to me about this.
yeah. So nobody
Oh, goodness. Oh,
nobody knew what these were.
oh, jeez.
It's okay.
man.
It was bound to happen. So nobody knew these existed, right? Plus just a random eBay find. Somebody was selling them that, his brother worked for Nike or something like that. And so he put them up. They'll tag on them. If you look, it says Air Jordan OS, which we don't really even know what that means. But essentially, the internet detectives and we all this put our minds together, kind of settled on that this was probably similar or analogous to the way that the Jordan 11 had the IB low. He was doing a low top summer type shoe for the Jordan 11. And there are a lot of similarities between the 9 and 11 that some people talk about. Like they asked what patent leather initially was supposed to be on the 9.
I freaking knew it.
So that's why when they made the pearls in the 1 and 2, I knew that was kind of the genesis of that. So yeah, there's some parallels between the two models in time. But if you look at these, they are unlike any Jordan 9 you've ever seen. I know. Obviously, the midsoles are falling apart here. We're going to get that fixed. We're going to get these resold because a piece of history crumbling in front of our eyes. But you'll notice the back of them has the Jordan 10 style Jumpman. So this is right before they designed the Jordan 10, obviously. This was right in line with that. The uppers are kind of this Argyle print, which somehow keeps coming up today. And triangular cutouts for the ventilation. There's a really high heel tab and a higher than normal heel on them. A tongue that's kind of got this arc to it, unlike any other pair that I can think of.
Yeah, it's quarterly. No,
it's it's similar to the Jordan 10 material, actually.
Wow. Is this a one of one?
Yeah, well, essentially, there's probably one pair in Nike archives, from what I was told. So most samples, there's always at least 2. Why Nike keeps? But yeah, this is a prototype Jordan 9 low. Never came out. So yeah, really a piece of history. Unfortunately, it's falling apart. But next time you guys see these, they'll be sort of restored to their allures.
The beauty about these is that you can get a midsole for these.
Yeah.
It's not a design.
a black.
Yeah, man. What size are these? These are nines. Okay, I'm gonna find you a donor pair because I'm nice. I probably don't care about
Yeah,
it,
that'd be nice.
but you know,
Better.
I would love to preserve these and be a part of that preservation because knives are my favorite.
You can shoes and pants your side.
Oh, jeez. I know. I mean,
Oh my.
look at this. This is crazy. This is crazy.
So we're looking at a prototype 9.
They never came out.
Yeah.
Low top. They never even made a 9 low top.
I mean, to say that this trip to LA was worth it is an understatement.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, what you guys have been feeding us, what you guys have been feeding the Kickstorians, our viewers, right? And this is how we do season 2. That's crazy. This is how we do season 2. This is amazing.
Man, like the point that you brought up about the patent leather, I always had in the back of my head, like when I looked at the knives, I'm like, to me, it reminds me of an 11.
Yeah, the similarity.
You know, the color black and white. You know, yeah, it just reminded me. I was like, I could kind of see this being like having a patent leather. And then when they released retros with the patent leather, you know, I was like, yeah, this makes sense. This looks like something that wouldn't, you know, I actually quoted myself saying that, like, the knives with patent leather looks like it could have released this way back in the day.
Yeah.
And
They thought it was a little too avant-garde to have the patent leather. But 2 years later, it was the most iconic.
yeah, I think they had a good timing and doing it only on the 11s because Jordan was retired. And I don't think it would have sold because that's how I got my pair on clearance.
It would have been. It wouldn't have been impactful.
Yeah, it would have been just like over the radar, or under the radar. Correct. I mean, I don't know what to think of it.
I mean, can I just go back to what Seth, what you just showed? Those Reeboks, the outside,
Same.
That's street lacing.
speed lace, sure. Speed lace.
This is the one thing preserved from the Jordan 9s, right? Like, and then the laces that these
Speed was that same time, like 93-ish, right?
Yeah, it's looking speed lacing. Speed lacing.
Yeah, this is, I think it says August of 93.
This is. We're looking at history right now, Kickstory guys. This is pure Kickstory right here, guys. This is an unreleased Air Jordan 9 low.
The cool thing about this is that there's not a lot of information behind this.
No.
Because, like you said, no one knows that this existed. I've never even heard of like other 9 prototypes. You know,
Well, you know they exist, right? Because they had to design the shoe.
Yeah,
They're out put you into that process.
to that process.
Very hard to find prototypes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You were personally featured. These shoes are featured and back in the days in certain magazines and things of that nature.
Yeah, they got picked up by some of the blogs and that kind of stuff too.
wow. Let me ask you this: when you're thinking of restoring these, are you looking for a dead stock outsole?
No, I'm gonna keep the outsole. I'm just gonna redo the midsole. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All I need is the midsole.
Okay. Because I have one that's, you know, they're worn, but they're still in good condition. And I asked that because I don't know if you want like a pristine one or you want them, you know, a little bit worn to fit this. And I think I have pairs that might work in that, you know.
Yeah.
So we'll talk after this, but I definitely want to help in this process because
This is. Seth, what do you have to say about this?
Last time I saw these, they had 0 cracks. Right?
Oh,
So I've really been seeing these shoes in 5 years, right?
seriously?
I took it out. I was like, I picked it up. I was like, here.
Well, thank you for bringing this on.
Yeah.
Like for you to really not do us a favor to show this. Yeah. And for me, like this is
This is why I was into shoes, right? I'm hunting these things that nobody, including myself, knew existed until you saw it.
Right.
And there's this weird feeling, maybe you can relate, where like you see it and you know what it is, and you're like, holy shit, like that's got to be X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So it's a strange feeling that a lot of sample and PE collectors have, where like you know what it is, but you've never seen it before.
Yeah.
You just have to piece the story together and all that. And so
that's fun.
like I posted these on Nike Talk back in the day. And there's a lot of people chiming in and helping create like, oh yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense. Wow. But at the end of the day, all of this it's community, right? But all this is like word of mouth and trend was that, you know, the timeline that's the line.
Yep.
Is this the oldest OGPE sample
So I got to
US? Right. Okay, so okay, that's right. Now, okay, got it. So now, okay, yeah. Now T asked me like, what do I feel? What do I see? So there's a couple of emotions. I'm, you know, as a vintage collector, it hurts to my literal soul, because this has happened to many of my pairs. It's inevitable, unless you wrapped it, you know. But
just back then.
yeah.
Yeah.
So a part of me, I look at this because it's the original midsole, and there's literally nothing that it's just the natural look, the human body ages, sneakers age. There's really that. If we could go back in time, I would tell them, stop with the polyurethane, nylon only, right? Yeah. So there's that, and then there's just the pure, like this is Jordan history. I've never seen this pair before. It's imagine like what else is out there that is waiting to be discovered or uncovered that we may never even see everything 100%. So I'm looking at this. I'm not even going to because
you can't make it work.
I'm looking at the Poo Chen group tag. I'm looking at oxidation of the glue. That dates. I look personally. I know that some may not love oxidation or want I love that stuff. That's the DNA to prove that this survived. When archaeologists dig up fossils, it's like, this is a fossil. This is the actual original, relic archive, item. And it's really priced. It's invaluable. I mean, you could try to put a number on this stuff, but no, it transcends that. This is DNA. This is truly like Jumpman, Nike DNA, right? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna take a smell.
That's the moment right there.
This is Bobby's.
Yeah.
This is Pat. That's a Pat move.
No, actually, that does a little bit. And I think that smell, carries over when they package it up, and then when they have it, with other shoes, it just kind of like, it's like a humidifier. It kind of keeps all those flavors in.
Listen, in the 90s, Jordan developed the post-up game as a signature. For anything related to 80s and 90s, your signature is smell of the shoes. That's your signature right there.
So people like, how they lick the sole. Let me lick these out now. I'm going to smell these. I want to go back in time and smell.
We got other sneakers we need to show, but we need to preserve.
Yeah.
The best keep those.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to talk after this. I got to really hook you up, dude. We're going to make this happen. I want you to
probably make a little thing out of it.
Yeah.
I would love to be. Look at this, guys. Look at this. I look at this Kickstory right here. I mean, if you're on Kickstory right here. Look at that.
Honestly, for you to do this is
it's an honor. It's
really like these pieces too. Yeah. We don't want to.
Like I said, though, they can't be made worse.
Yeah.
It's hard to eat it up.
Yeah. Wow. But look at this. Yep. You just put. Yeah. I miss it. I mean, it's okay.
I know.
I get it. As my friend Nick Ojior says, sneaker crack. Sneaker crack all day. Like it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Sure, right? If you do not collect vintage, and vintage is not for everyone, and I get neither am I, so I've been told on interviews, but I digress. The point is, it's like if you're gonna get into vintage, this is part of the territory.
There's consequences to it.
Yeah. And I chill with polyurethane. Now I've become more, focused on like Phylon just because it holds and maintains better. But that right there, it's
heartbreaking, but you know what? Like, we have a remedy now. Go back 10, 15 years, there was no restoration point.
There were.
Shoes were yellow, they were yellow.
That's it.
Midsoles crumbled, they were gone.
Good point.
There are
some came off, like,
yeah, right. And there are some models I get nervous, like my Turbulence. I'm like, when they start, crumbling, what am I going to do? There's no donor.
There's no,
Sure. I freak out. That's why I wear them lightly, so that way the glue can, do what it does. That way I can kind of preserve them, which is kind of a weird contradiction. I wear them to preserve them.
Yeah.
Sure.
I noticed a lot of my shoes from like mid 2000s, 2010, 2015, 16, I'm starting to break down way earlier.
Yeah. Just poor quality construction, manufacturing materials.
That was
textiles, manufacturing. Yeah, just different.
Yeah. That was one of the most iconic Kickstory models that we've ever had.
Especially with Bobby Spelling, that was a moment that'll last. And I didn't get for that. Yeah, screenshot.
We're gonna continue to train.
Okay. So that was your first of the Final Four. So we're now at the NCAA Final Four. Okay. So I mentioned earlier that Penny Hardaway is one of my all-time favorite basketball players. I believe he's in the Hall of Fame. I'm almost certain. Maybe I'm wrong.
Not yet.
Well, he should be.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll get it right. Career was cut short by injuries like Grant Hill and a few other legendary players. But Penny was like Magic Johnson 2.0.
1,000%. Penny was
Like he was
ah,
shorter. He was like 6'7".
Yeah.
Magic was like 6'9".
Yes, sir.
But he had style, flash, pizzazz.
Penny.
Yeah, the absolute Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks.
Right? I mean, he had the flair. I feel like Penny was like Andre Agassi on the basketball court.
Cool.
Because Mike had swag in it, but Penny just he was some things. Very smooth, very humble, quiet, not too, but beautiful game. And his kick game was A1.
A1.
And when I talked about Gary Payton, I didn't bring any necessarily GPs today, but Penny and GP. One was more defensively oriented. Penny was more offensive. He was the orchestrator. He could do it everything. He was literally like a triple double waiting to happen. Like, I mean, he could score. He passed beautifully. He could rebound. Yeah. So what are we looking at here? Okay, this has never been retroed. I'm hoping that some of the people will.
It's been retro in leather.
It not in that. All right, let me be more clear. I guess with the original like materials, the nubuck upper, the proportions, the color blocking, they did do a failed attempt at the Well, I'll go further than that and just it was
travesty.
Yeah. So the era was worn by, this is the 94-95 era. It's part of the Flight, series. I love Mark Price. Mark Price, who should be in the Hall of Fame as well. Mark Price, John Stockton. Many players wore the Air Up. They also made a high version with the strap as well. But this is the Penny Hardaway, quote, PE. Now, interestingly, this is a general GR pair. It does not have player sample tagging or coding. But Penny wore this exact colorway with the number 1 on the heel. And when you feel the material, you can feel it. It's just, very beautiful, like, suede-ish kind of material. This is a dead stock size 13. This was an eBay find in 2005. I have to tell this story. I'm not the best in terms of financial management or mismanagement because sneakers are not, if you're not careful. But I was in San Diego at a conference. It was actually a gerontology conference. I remember this like it was yesterday. And before bedtime, if you're into vintage, you're going to be, and maybe even just, you say, think you're on eBay. And I've been on eBay since 99, and I'm going to keep going until I'm 99. But I remember I was, in San Diego, was checking eBay. There was a seller, Soul Stop. I think they were based in Toronto. They had a store at the time. They had an eBay account, Soul Stop. And I came across, this pair. And at the time, I think they were asking like $330 for it, which for me at that time, grad student or whatever, I mean, it's either Subway, eat fresh, or am I right? I mean, and I've done the saltine cracker diet. I highly recommend it as weight loss. But anyway, the point is, it's like, I had not seen another pair. Size, condition, original box. I love Penny Hardaway. He's one of my all-time favorite players. I have a lot of respect for him. Consummate professional. He carried that Magic team after Shaq left. And Orlando was, in hindsight, they should have paid. They should have come up with the 120 because Orlando was right. They were right there. They were swept in the 96 conference finals. But they were right there and they broke it up, right? I mean, but anyway, I wanted to bring something else. We talked about the Foam Posit 1.
Yes.
But this precedes the Foam Posit 1. This is one of my favorite. It has an elastic band. Yeah. In terms of rarity, this, and let me say this, it's not about the likes, but whenever I post this pair on my account,
people are crazy.
I get a lot of comments. I get a lot of messages, which, let's be honest, today in the vintage circle, most, unless you're in and you're all in on vintage, but I get a lot of comments, and that makes me feel good. I tag Penny every time to show respect. I hope he remembers this. If he ever watches, I'm hoping that he remembers. I think it was the 95 playoffs, round 1, round 2.
Yeah.
And just wanted to, kind of as we're winding down, but I love Penny. I'm a Florida veteran. I'm from Florida. He played for Orlando, Central Florida. He helped put that team on, right? Yeah. So there you go. Just wanted to, show some love to Penny.
It's like one of the most nostalgic shoes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. That's the reason why. Even in LA, like we were loving the shoes.
So that's cool.
But you want to say something?
No, I'm going to say, during this era, you got the cool pinstripe uniforms. You got the Shaq. You got Penny. You got Nick Anderson. You got that unit. Like, they were the cool team. Honestly, like, same thing. I respected Penny Hardaway, because it was, like, exciting to see him and Jordan, like, go out. It's like,
Go out. This is how I'm going.
look, it was great. It was great to watch. For whatever reason, I didn't feel threatened when it came to Penny Hardaway. But when Kobe, that's another story. When he came to the league, I felt a little threatened. But great shoe, great story. Love it, man.
I just one thing I want to say, because I clearly remember this for Laka. Clearly, they had series. Because Pippen had this in white and silver with 33 in the back.
Yeah.
Right? So were there any other players that had them numbers in the back with this?
Yep, Reggie did.
Oh, so Reggie had one?
Reggie has. In fact, I know someone who has the player sample 31 on the back.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who else may have had a player sample. Offhand, I just know that Reggie 31.
But a GR, general release, is only Pippen and Penny, correct?
That is correct, yeah.
Okay.
In fact, as an aside, for Reggie's sneaker history, I believe it was the 95 conference semifinals against, I know you're from New York, but that series when he hit the back-to-back three-point, that's one of the greatest plays in NBA history, but I believe it was the Air Up 31 PE that he wore.
All black with a white check?
All black with just basic, and sometimes the basic color on basic, right? It goes with anything. But Reggie had a PE 31. A lot of guys wore just the basic Jackson release. Yep. So there you go, Penny Hardaway. It's one of my favorites. It always gets some love whenever I share it. I've had this pair for nearly almost 20 years. I have not found, complete with DS. I have not found another pair in a size 12 or 13. I know one other person who has, I believe, a size 11 dead stock in, I think, Europe or so. But this is definitely one of those gems. I had to bring it today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're winding down. So we're gonna, it's all right.
All right. I'm John.
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay.
All right, we're not to 3, right?
Okay, 3. Okay.
Good pull.
Okay. All right.
Good pull. Sure pull. Okay. We got.
So you guys should tell you a little mode.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Ray Allen.
Okay.
Ray Allen 7.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So they made a black there. It's away. This is the
Black leather, right? The purple. She's a dream.
They be out of there also. And then they made like a Ray Allen quote unquote retro of these, the black hair.
These are the Ray Allen P.
So this is very similar to French Blue 7s, right? If you look, the purple is clear, or excuse me, the green is clear.
Okay. It's like a little
So I love Frenchies. That was like one of my favorite 7s. So the styling is very similar to French Blues, similar material. The yellow on the front, that's another thing, we'll find someone to fix that now that we have.
No, I don't think this. Leave the patina. Leave it. Yeah.
We'll talk about to be discussed. But you see it looks very French blue like if you look at it.
Yeah.
The colorway in general. But I love the clear green, the 34 purple on each side.
Oh,
Purple, probably my favorite color. Definitely my favorite color.
34 stitching is just that gives it that P stamp.
No.
Right?
So talk to me.
Two eras.
So these are they're not game worn. These are pairs that were made extra pairs swapped
I
up.
don't think it might have been, but there's no evidence to.
Yeah, that's
I can't prove it. It doesn't.
Yeah, I don't see any creasing on
The inside, the Jumpman looks worn. And the
So they've definitely been worn by someone who got it.
Got it. Okay. Those are the things the little details I'm trying to catch up on as far as like the way
This is a rarity, right? Because this is pretty much when Ray Allen was really officially stamped to Jordan Brand.
Yeah.
Right? His Milwaukee days, right? Because he had the black and purple ones. He was wearing 16.
With Ben Baker, right?
I actually got a pair of his.
Baker, and Ben Baker was part of the Jordan brand as well. Jordan, so
I had a pair of his 17s.
Yeah.
White, black, purple. And then I shipped them. I sold them and shipped them in customs totally destroyed the shoes. Like, tore them apart. So the guy, I gave him a refund, and then he sent the shoes back to me. So that's another restoration project. So that's the two Ray from Bucks PEs that I
got a detail police one. Always point detail please. This is the only Air Jordan 7 I've ever seen in my life that the insole cycle liner is leather. It's not even it's leather. Also, wow. Detail police.
That's great.
Yeah. Detail police. It's always the Huarache neoprene, which stops right here. Here's the division. True. But you're getting this leather. So that's quality right there. We've never seen that in the 7.
I'll say this. These are one of my favorite shoes to hoop in. Super comfortable. Super comfortable. I wear the Hair 7s on court. Man, indoor, outdoor, they feel great.
Yeah.
I wear them.
Wow. Yeah, the inside, I mean, I love the 34 on the inside.
The leather looks great. Tumbled leather. You can tell right away by the texture of the leather. Looks great. Man.
And if you notice, like, if you pick up a French Blue 7 or Citrus 7, the originals, they always get this lean to them.
Right here.
Right? Yeah. This little,
Do you like that?
I actually like that.
Okay, I'm kidding. The lean.
Yeah.
It's just right.
All right. Shoot. Let's
metal lace tip.
Yeah, I saw the lace tip.
That's a nice. I love it. That's the big Joker. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, Frenches came along. So I mean, these are very reminiscent of
French. Wow. Two. You guys have 3 more?
Yeah. Okay. We're the final stretch now. Let me see. We're in the final stretch.
Wow.
Okay, so since we're yeah. I mean, honestly, I should just shut up. I could just literally go like this, and we could just move on.
That's it.
That's it. I am a 6'11" to 13 guy. For me personally, the Jordan 6 is the first Jordan that I saw. 3rd grade, 1991. Black infrared. It was the first Jordan that I saw on someone else's feet. With the pull tabs that I had no idea. That's the first one. I was 9 years old. I was like old enough to like have that memory. But interestingly, my favorite Jordan moment of all time happened in the 7s. That is when famous Marv Albert play call, Game 1, 92 finals. Here's Jordan from 3. Yes! That's right. Good. I mean, I wanted to be. I airballed more than I made, but. The point is, I started playing basketball a little bit later. I was like 7 years old, late 80s. I was a shooter because I couldn't play. It's like, don't worry, I can't, from Space Jam, I can't play defense, right? But so when Mike did his 6'3", setting a record like that in the 7s, of course, different colorway, but in the 7, that's just my personal favorite moment of Jordan history. The hair colorway, I'm wearing my game-worn vintage Clarence Weatherspoon Baby Barkley jacket. The Bulls wore that color, or I should say Jordan wore that colorway of the 7 when the Bulls played Barkley and the Sixers during Barkley's last year in Philly, where they wore this kind of shooting star motif. So
nice.
It was Jordan versus his, at the time, best friend. And as an aside, I hope that they work it out, like much like Magic and Isaiah work it out. The point is, I love what Charles said. He's like, typical personality. I've got a number, you can call me, but then that's another story. The point is, just I love, as an aside, love Charles. So I would have brought something today for sure, Charles, but nonetheless. But that is my favorite colorway of the Hair 7, and I wanted to follow up one 7 to another, but original colorway.
Yes,
love that colorway, the Hair 7. You see the oxidation on the toe cap. I personally love natural oxidation. It's very something, right? We can debate it to each.
I'm on his side. Okay, he's on your side.
Yeah, all right.
I don't blame on this, but I'm lead on that.
Yeah, because it's a newer model.
Because it's the OG.
Yeah, it's hard to. But these are now OGs, right? If you think about it.
Yeah. Never worn. I actually own 2 pairs.
Wow.
Both VS, 12 and 12 and a half. And just that it's 90s. What else do you want? What else can be said? I mean, it's one of the greatest tinkered designs. Beautiful suede upper construction.
We haven't talked about along those lines.
Okay.
How many shoes have you brought out that have this Huarache style?
I'm cycloners.
How much that's
a good point. That's a good point.
They're designed to give you
Absolutely.
That's sweet.
Yeah. But so what I'm thinking about, here's the thing. I do have, in fact, when I first started out collecting, my collection was almost entirely Jordan. But over time, over years, like my collection is more non-Jordan than Jordan. So I moved, my focus, whatever. But I respect the man, I respect the brand. There's a lot more than just Jordans. And that in my account personally, I show love to the takedowns, to the others. But every once in a while, like I'm going to do whatever the few OG models that I have. This is one of the oldest original Jordans that I have. I've one pair of 6s, infrared 6s, but the Hair 7, I had to bring it. It's a great story piece. It's a class. Everybody loves the 7. So many great Jordan moments. Barcelona Dream Team, 7 NBA Finals, gold medal. I mean, 92 was a great year.
Yeah, it was a great year.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so there you go. So we're getting down to the last couple. But there you go. Hair 7. Yeah.
A couple of things I want to mention real quick. Made in Korea, which is awesome quality.
Yeah.
The Korean manufacturers had some great quality stuff. The shape right away. I'm like, wow, this is a shape.
Respectfully, when you look at that shape and you look at this shape, you're like, wow,
they're right. Yeah.
Wow, OG. This is like this gained a little weight. This got taller. That's a little kid. That's a little kid that's got this little bit. This one, I'm a teenager now. I'm get this hyper.
I'm a big kid now. It's all coming back.
It's all coming back. Right. It's all coming back. But you're right with the 7s. My favorite 7 is the Bordeaux. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. So those, right? But when those came out, that was my introduction because I was like Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Like I don't really equate the Bordeaux to Looney Tunes. I
tweet. That's because it's hair, Jordans.
Yeah. And then a commercial with Mars. Here. Oh my God. This is all right, guys. Let's keep it flowing. So
being with everything that you just said,
Bobby, this is great
with you guys. So this is a wild pair. Another thing that I had to discover. Right, this was uncharted territory. Nobody knew this. It was out there. So just random on eBay, some unlisted this.
Okay.
So we'll start with what it was shipped with. So this is Space Jam Warner Brothers marketing material distributed within Warner Brothers.
Space Jam Warner Brothers marketing material?
So essentially, the workers in Warner Brothers, the stores. Do you remember the stores in the malls?
Yep.
Yeah. So when we were kids, we went to the mall. No one goes to the mall anymore, right? And they used to have the Warner Brothers store. I think they went out of business in like 99, 2000.
Yeah.
But there were about 50 of them. And each store had a display for Space Jam to try and promote the movie. Right? Obviously, great marketing because look, we're all grown men talking about it still. So they had things on display. They had the original movie script, right? So this is the original movie script with Space Jam, just printed from Warner Bros. It's not like... There's probably many copies. Some still images. You brought up Bill Murray. I think Bill Murray's here. So you brought up Bill Murray. So these are like the original still images from the books. Jordan, this for you, Bobby. And to segue, Bugs Bunny, right? So it's Bunny, Hair Jordans. So
Air Jordan meets Air Jordan.
So they made these movie prop Jordan 7.
Oh man, that's cool.
So these were made.
Oh wow!
Oh, guys, promotion.
Okay, yeah.
Kickstory.
We're parting of the Red Sea. Maybe
we're watching this right now. So this is you got the Air Jordan.
Every Warner Brothers store got a pair of these to display. There's about 40, 50 stores. So there are about 40 or 50 of these probably made. But then once the promotion was over, they wanted to have them all destroyed. So the vast majority of these are just thrown in the trash. But there's a couple people that saved them, right? And I found this guy that saved one. And I'd never seen him, right? Never seen this before. So I started going on this like crazy man on fire style search. And I found a pair on a guy from Nike Talk. So I ended up getting 2 pairs of these, believe it or not.
The 2 pairs.
Since that time, there's been uncovered two or three more pairs. So we know of maybe 5 pairs of these. But yeah, these are made out of resin is what I was told, not clay or anything like that. Essentially, if you look at the old picture of Air Jordan where he's like lying down, this is exactly the style shoe he had. And if you look at it, you're like, oh, that's what they drew. So the people that made these movie props looked at that picture and made these in Bugs Bunny shape. It's a crazy shape, right? Like look at
But
it's a crazy shape. When you really look at it, it's a crazy.
Wow.
That's why it's so fitting that this was completely not planned. Well, that Seth would bring hair.
Wow. Okay.
So completely unplanned, and I'm glad because you can see the comparison.
Waiting collaboration. Yeah.
And if you look close, you'll see they even noted, like, the sevens get those little dents when you wear them. So, like, you can see these little dents in there from the way that they drew them and the way the shoes.
So they were really looking at every detail. This is. Can I count?
Of course, yeah, they are. Even though they don't look like it, they are.
Just getting yeah. Look at this.
They are still kind.
Yeah, I'm not looking at this resin. Very nice. That's got to be a size 20. I would say approximately on Walmart. I mean, do you know what size 14? Size 4? Okay, maybe I'm bringing a little overshoot.
Look at that.
That's huge.
Mm-hmm. And all of them are a little different. The two pairs I had were different. Mm-hmm. The other pairs I've seen they're all a little different because they're
handmade, right?
Yeah, that's handmade. Started to degrade a little.
That's crazy. So a handmade, rare, and I mean, each one is unique. These are priceless. These are relics. These are Do you know like the artist or the company that was in charge?
Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers Studio.
So I imagine they're in charge of art department.
In other words, like whoever makes movie props, right there.
Oh wow. Okay.
Gee, this is Kickstory. Welcome to LA. Welcome to LA, ladies and gentlemen. This is as LA as you can get right now.
Yeah, sure. It makes perfect sense. Warner Brothers Studio.
This is as LA as you can get. This is. I wasn't expecting all.
Ironically, this pair I think came from Illinois. From the true story. Chicago.
I mean, guys, I want to talk about this, but we still got some more kicks to go. But
wow, it's like I said, it's impossible to follow up with this. So I think I got 2. I think we're down to 2 left. So you got 1. Okay. So T.
Yes,
this is for you.
Me.
We're getting down to the last couple, and thank you to the viewers who have been hanging in. We try to.
You guys have been rocking with us.
There's definitely been like some thought. We've thought about just what it matters and is meaningful, and important. And like I said, it's about personal memories, moments in one's life. So T and I talked a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
I'm like, T, what are some of your sneakers that matter or that you make on top 5? And you mentioned one trainer in particular.
Okay. Well, is it a bow? Oh, you put the ball in right at the front.
And one thing that T mentioned, and we have not talked about. I don't think we talked about Bo Jackson today. I do not think we mentioned about Bo Nose. And so one of the things that T mentioned is that he remembered and loves the Air Trainer Max, the 91 Air Trainer Max. And this was an eBay find several years ago. I have the full set. I didn't bring the brochure, Bo, the Bo Club Bo, but they came fully loaded back in the day. OG box, it had the brochure, the anatomy of the sneaker, the midsole, 5-on midsole, the heavy traction, the tread.
What about the innovative strap? That's what caught me when I was a kid. The crunch, this crunch strap, that was one of a kind.
Yep.
Because we were going into, because this is 91. So we didn't even we didn't have the earrings yet. We didn't have the Jordan 8s even. So my Nike didn't really explore they had ankle straps, not midfoot straps. Mm-hmm. So this almost, don't quote me. I think that's the first big foot strap I ever seen in Nike.
Yep. Did you have this pair? So where did
my oldest brother, remember, a lot of my influences, because I'm the youngest, looking at all older brothers, he had the yellow and gray.
Yeah.
Right, he had the yellow and gray. So I loved the yellow gray, but I also loved those. I remember seeing those downtown Brooklyn. That's where we shopped at, and those are just memorable. Now they rented those twice. Mm-hmm. Right, I had the yellow gray, and then I had the black and white. But my memory to that is my older brother having them, and I never had it, but me being like in awe of them. Mm-hmm. That's my connection to it.
When you mention that to me, I'm just like, that's a top 5. I need to do something. Yeah, for sure. We're going to wrap it up, in a little bit, but I felt like
to give a shout out to you as well.
Thank you, man.
Bo Jackson is one of the most, for those who don't know, Bo knows this, Bo knows that, but Bo can't rap. You know what I'm saying? And just the quickest, we talked about Deion Sanders earlier. Bo was the predecessor. I mean, there was nothing the man could not do. So whether it was breaking a bat on his knee, whether it was pissed. I mean, the same thing Albert Bell was pissed. I mean, Bo would just, and I just a great athlete from Alabama, like Charles Barkley from Alabama, and Bo Jackson was, and just multi-dimensional. He had a personality like Penny Hardaway and Andre Agassi. These guys were larger than life. Bo Jackson had a great personality. You could relate. He was relatable because he played and did literally everything, and he made everything, including bowling. He made everything look good, right? Look good, feel good. Deion said it. Look good, feel good, play good, play good, right? So Bo Jackson, I wanted to do something not only for T, but to give Bo his flower. You know what I'm saying? Because he is up in the pantheon. So Air Trainer Max, 1991.
Gee,
what a time to be young or in shape.
And there's another memory I'm going to do, right? Because I know you got some work. With this, the next year or 2 years ago, all right, so 91, I'm 10 years old, 92, I'm 11, 93, I am 12, 92, 93. What did we get? I'm still a kid. Jordan's in it too. Gretzky's in it too. It came on right before Inside Star. Pro Stars cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember the Pro Stars? Pro Stars. It was a cartoon that had Wayne Gretzky, Bo Jackson, Michael Jr. And they were like superheroes.
Yeah, they were superheroes. Yeah, it was a cartoon.
Okay, so that's my name. I think the Pro Stars. I look at this.
It was that. Time frame. Yes, funny.
Replicate 2 couple years.
Yeah.
But he was the poster child for these.
You know what? I believe there was one model, like 91 boat. Like, was it the airboat? I could be wrong.
Was it a turret?
Yeah, it was like a low cut turret. I believe.
Okay.
I believe there was maybe one model that had the name Bo. It's called the Bo Turf. I have to check, or the Bo Trainer.
That sounds familiar. Bo Trainer sounds familiar.
Well, yeah, I'm talking like 91. Bo Trainer.
Bo Trainer sounds
I don't know well, but it's and like Charles Barkley said, I might be right. I mean, I don't know it all. I know what I know. But but there was no cues. It wasn't necessarily a colorway. It was just like a general kind of field trainer kind of thing. But
the way I distinguish, if it was a signature, if they had a logo, Ken Griffey Jr. had his swing mat logo, right? So that tell me, okay, that's a signature. So to me, if it didn't have an iconic logo attached to it, it wasn't a signature. So. But you're right. I think there is a Bo Trainer. And
Bo Trainer,
all Nike have to do for a Bo signature is just take a little pixel of his Tecmo Bowl and let that be his signature. Because that's how green was in Tecmo Bowl.
You know what would be an awesome logo for him? A pretty good muscle like this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this muscle with 3 muscles. So that, just that's why I see it. But
thank you. You actually shook earlier you dedicated to body kicks. And to me, so thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
Well, we're running down now. We're getting to the crescendo now. We're getting to the crux of the matter. We're wrapping it up.
Is this your last one?
This is my last.
This is I'll do it. No, I think what I'll do actually, I've got one left that I'll end.
How can you talk with this? How can you? Hey, there's something that's probably
okay.
Someone would probably say this is the best shoe of my collection.
Best shoe of your collection, not the Paris, the nice.
I'm not getting most value. It's about the best shoe, right? Where I'm keeping with the Jordan 7.
Okay. Oh man.
What is that?
And what am I looking at?
Yeah.
So 1992. Design. Geez. Let me see how much gets to.
Yeah.
All right. Little next to the hair.
Yeah.
Little line right up.
Yeah. You have a 1992 Air Jordan 7 sample.
Let's see if we can move those.
What?
Okay.
And this is, look at the shape.
You gotta be careful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at here?
No one really knows. Being honest. So nobody really knows. I got these from a guy, family member worked for Nike. He just put them on eBay. And he knew they were worth something. He knew they were sampled. They were the 7. But when he posted the pictures, they were super grainy. and he listed them for 500 actually. And everyone thought they were fake, right? The entire these are fake. Like this, it looks like one of those like nice kicks back in the day. The old nice kicks was like all the fakes, right?
Yeah.
So it looked like one of those crazy, stupid colorways. So everyone just mocked, and I was like, "Well, hold on a second, because he has a picture of the tongue, and that's a 92 tongue."
Yes, and then let's take a look at that.
92 tongue.
Oh yeah, that's player sample 91. Yeah, 910717. Yeah, sure. Size 9. Right? Yeah, that's
So I took that picture. That it was a blurry picture, but I could see enough to say, "No, that's something." Right. So that's what I told you guys earlier. It's like you got to work harder than the next person.
Like
to get
your research.
Like you have to
diligence.
be ready when you
diligence.
So yeah, I was able to get these at an absolute sales back in the day. The going sort of agreement is that, remember that Jordan 6 was a bat boot.
Yeah.
So people call these jokers because they took these are Jack Nicholson's exact colorway. The timeline is perfect. So I'm thinking maybe it was a colorway that they made sort of as homage to Joker, because the teal, the red, it's like exactly the colors that Joker wore.
This is
so this.
Have either of you seen this on the internet? Outside of what you purchased, have you ever seen?
No. This is it. I discovered basically.
Okay,
For the world, we'll say, because
So let's go back to this year then. Okay. Why would they create something like this? Like what any other story that you gathered from this?
no, but if you think about it, these are 1992 colors, right? Like these are people wore. You brought up teal. I laughed when you said it. I was like, oh, we'll talk about teal later.
Yeah, I say that.
If these didn't have teal on it, maybe they weren't as crazy because they're just purple and red, right? But the teal is what makes these pretty crazy. You put these three colors together. So I don't, that's the best we could do is guess on what they were thinking when they made these. And actually somebody asked Tinker when these were at an event in Santa Monica, and he didn't know either too.
Really?
That's amazing.
See, okay, so because I'm thinking, okay, when they create samples and stuff like that too, they usually revolve it around like, okay, Jordan, okay, like, or let's say they have an alternative colorway for most of the shoes, right? The Columbias or like the All-Star ones, whatever that would be.
Yeah.
What would this how would this be associated to
it can also be, think about it, when they just try and color palette.
Yes.
They just try and color palettes, right?
So this one got All-Star game? So this
no. Think of this as this trying color palette, and then got loose. But think of this has having no connection to anything.
That just throws me off because
they were made in 91.
Right?
So the best thought I have is that this was kind of a Batman inspiration with the Batwood, just to kind of be a Joker color. I remember that's what most people think, honestly, that I've seen him, but
Batman,
we don't really know.
The first Michael Keaton was 82?
No.
It was 89.
Was there Batman in 91 and 2?
There was
Batman Returns. Returns. Okay. What do you think? I mean, shoot, this is you're leading away with it. The value of this is
priceless. You can't. It's very subjective. It's like a Monet. It's like a Picasso or a Modigliani. When you get to something this rare, this is probably, I'm willing to bet, like a 1 of 1.
Right.
I've never.
It's got to be, right? Because
and I mean, there's two ways to do that. You put it on eBay and you let the market determine the value, right? Open market, right? But at the same time, I mean, this is the probability of finding a replacement pair is zero, right? So it's, in my opinion, it's priceless. I mean, this should be in a museum, and it is in a museum, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? And so, it's very subjective and personal. I can't, and sometimes you shouldn't even try to think about what the value is, because it's like, if it just stays with you, then it's relevant.
Yeah.
Because it ain't going anywhere, Like, it's, in my opinion, like, this is just Brandon's invaluable.
I'm gonna say something crazy. Yeah. If this was my collection, I would wear them.
what?
I would wear them.
they are. It's not like they're brand new. They were worn by the person who owned them.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
You would wear them like now?
I would wear them. If this was in my collection, I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna wear them. I'm gonna go to a show.
If people go,
I don't even know if people would even know. Yeah.
Look at those pants.
They wouldn't even know. They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know. But I don't know. For some reason, I'm thinking like, I would wear them.
You would one?
No, I would.
Yeah.
I would wear them
Just gently casual.
Yeah, just like my toe cap 10s. I wear them casually now, but I'm gonna wear those on court.
Mm-hmm.
So
even when I got them, they kind of changed a little. Like these laces were white when I got them. Now they're kind of
I love it. It's bleeding. Yeah, that's
Yeah, keep even outdoor.
That's probably the original color. It has purple.
that's great.
That's probably the original color. It was more vibrant. And if you look way back when at the pictures I posted of these, then I got these 2009.
No,
With flash, they were like bright purple. So they've degraded a little bit since I've had them 15 years,
One detail I forgot to mention on both this and this pair. The tabs still look good. The tabs still look good. Even some of the recent retros, they start cracking right away. These old school ones are still looking damn good.
Yeah, like look at this one.
Exactly right. So this is a newer retro. You can see this is how it's all like discolored.
Interesting.
They used to be purple.
Okay, there you go.
And
It's a good example. Like I'm surprised seeing these 92s and the tabs still looking good. I have a pair of retro, the Olympic ones.
That'll actually scratch off.
Oh, it's the oxidation. Yeah.
There you go.
Staff is like,
I'm like, oh yeah, exactly, yeah. No, dude. Okay.
I don't know what to say, but this. All right.
So again, going back to the point I was making, we've been holding $100,000 shoes.
Yeah.
I've been smelling them. I've been like talking about like wearing them about in my collection
Dead stock, everything's
for the most part.
right.
like, notice the inside, color on the inside. Beigey.
Does it?
I do. It's crazy, man. Like,
That's crazy. So, I mean,
look, you can see the how vibrant that purple is.
You see the inside overlook, right? It's like emotionally draining.
it's
This shit is like it is emotional. It is.
this is a lot. Seth, bring us home, Seth. Bring us home.
So
This is a lot, man.
so I have a story.
Welcome to LA.
Yeah. So you know what? How about I pull out the pair and then we multitask at the same time for the audience and everyone. If they made it, hopefully they have made it. This probably made it enjoyable, something new, different. You may not get to see this just anywhere. And we appreciate that you guys, came out. You made the announcement. You were thinking about coming to LA. West Coast is the best coast. I'm like, I because you guys get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for Bijan,
Okay.
I consider Bijan. I don't know a lot of people. I have this very small circle. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so let's pull out.
Yeah.
I only brought a couple pairs that are full sets today.
Look at that.
So this is not just an original box. This is a player sample coded tagged box. From mid 90s. This pair belonged to Bijan.
Oh, yeah, it was mine.
This was Bijan's pair. I mentioned earlier that player samples, the circles are very tight, and the vaults, they stay locked. I mean, right, with vintage, I'm into memorabilia and apparel. Personalities, very right? It's like you keep your vault, you keep your shit tight, you keep it locked, you don't let go unless it's for, a reason or a cause, upgrading, or the boss tells you it's time to let something go. So my favorite sneaker of all time, Eric Ivar, the 1995, although it was worn in 96 as well, but, manufactured mid to late 95, the Air Zoom Flight 95. There are other people as well who love that model. It's if I were to die tonight or tomorrow and I were to be buried in one pair or one basketball shoe, that would be it. And it's not even close.
Okay.
That's my number one. I mentioned my other two earlier. But the 95 Air Zoom Flight. Bijan, and I'm just going to open it up. We're going to talk about it now. So, this is great. So,
Probably 5-10 years.
So I'm worried if we take them out, it's on. Do I get the or do I just not? Let's keep it in the box. I want the camera to see this.
Yeah,
we're gonna do plenty of close-ups.
So we're gonna do some close-ups.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When they were Bijan's pair. So basically, when I met with, so basically, this is a player sample. It's either Dallas or Seattle.
Yeah.
It's either going to be DFW, the big D, Dallas, Jason Kidd, or Seattle Sonics, Nate McMillan, because I don't think you're even wore the Zoom Flight, but Nate McMillan, captain of the Sonics teams. Shout out to the Pacific Northwest Seattle. Let's get their team back. Love Gary Payton, but nonetheless, when I look at this colorway,
this colorway was not, to my understanding, was not a general release. So Bijan and I've known Bijan for about 20 years or so. Thank you for tolerating me. Okay. So when we put this, say again?
It can be tough.
Oh yeah. So I've been told myself. So I knew that Bijan had this pair for a while.
I had the Soul Collector competition. I believe.
I own almost every colorway of the original Zoom flag, with the exception of the Jason Kidd Dallas colorway. It had black outsole
and black piping, right?
That one I don't know. Oh wow! But I have basically every other colorway, including doubles of a couple of them. But this colorway, player sample colorway, sample coding, tagging on the box eluded me. And Bijan reached out, several, years ago, and we just went back and forth, about conversations, this and that, but I didn't really pull the trigger. But about a couple of years ago, you were all in LA and everything, and we ended up meeting together, saw the, the collection. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Maybe and
this is a big piece of the iceberg.
Yeah. But I had my eyes set on this one for a very long. I'm just gonna let that. Just please be careful with this, okay?
No,
just leave it. Just leave it. I just let the museum. So I respect that.
You have to.
I have 2 pairs of the Davis Tower.
That's the pair that I was looking. I wanted. Yeah. So when I got these on eBay too. What you talking about? So essentially, the guy that was selling them was selling this pair and the purple pair. And the purple pair was purple again. It's my favorite color for shoes.
Yeah, varsity purple
pair is what I want.
Varsity
purple. An auction by however much, whatever. But I ended up getting this one, trying to get both of them.
Yeah.
So I get this one. I held on to it forever. I actually had these when I did that Soul Collector competition we talked about earlier. This was one of the shoes on the table.
Yeah.
It's probably where you saw it the first time up. So yeah, I've had these for a long time.
You had to use if
they're going to go to anyone, right? Size 12, brand new.
Yeah, you got
his favorite shoe. I knew it for a long time.
You must.
One day Seth is going to get these.
This is amazing. You guys went individually all then you had some alignment. You had some you didn't know who's going to bring this out, and then you guys ended the last shoe, tying the story together.
When Bijan did, I'm like, I have to.
Dope.
I have to. Now, when I acquired from Bijan, that completed that stuff, never laced. The pods were still attached. But since that, the glue, the adhesive, it's going to, over time. So they literally all have fallen off. And I'm totally okay with that. This is the way, I believe in natural condition. Just let it be.
Let it go.
I think it's great. I have them all, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'll post them on my page as is. Maybe I'll put this on top or something like that. You can see the oxidation of the crystallization of the bit.
But for these, they didn't even have this green.
I love it. Wow. I love it.
So that's the Air Jordan. That's the Air Jordan 13.
Yeah, they barely had even this wasn't here. I haven't seen these in a long time.
Yeah, it's just it's literally. Well, there you go. Okay, it is what it is. It just comes. Yeah, it just that's
the territory. Right?
Yeah, it just comes with the territory. When I attended the Soul Collector Las Vegas finals in 06, it was July 06. I gently, and very gently, wore my Brent Berry white and red original PC. I have 2 pairs, original boxes.
And have the Clipper Glass Crown line?
You know what? I don't have the warm up. I would have worn my Weatherspoon, red. But anyway, the point is, I wore the white and red. So to that event, and that was my first legit sneaker event. I've always been active, whatever. Sneaker play, the Soul Collector forums. I was active, right. But it was the first time that I ever met people that were thought like me, that were insane like me, right? And that's the pair that I wore at the event. So I always loved. I have to find a picture. But 8th grade, I did wear the black and white, carbon fiber, classic colorway. That's my favorite. I own 3 pairs in that colorway, one of which is signed by Jason Kidd, Hall of Famer, champion, Hall of Fame, one of the greatest point guard, beautiful triple double,
consistent.
And now
Yeah.
in the NBA Finals.
Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh,
I am as a coach.
nice.
As a coach, and
So
In that for Dallas.
in Dallas. So by the time this episode airs, we'll see
If Jay Kidd is watching, but I mean, people remember Jason rookie of the year with Grant Hill. Just, beautiful play style. He wore some of the best designed aesthetic and performance sneakers. This is my number one. I'm not the only one, and bug eye look, very like just against the great futuristic. Yeah, look, if the alien came down and like ET, you know what I'm saying? What this would be.
And the Zoom Fly 5 too with the iridescent.
Absolutely. Yeah, like very elliptical, oval shape. Yeah. But this right here, I wanted to end it. This is very personal to me. This came from Bijan, so you see how it could go. It's all about
it's
layers.
It's a secret society.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, access to trust.
It's like Fight Club. You don't talk about fight. What's the rules of fight, right? But it's like sometimes they come home. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But I think I own 13 original pairs at this point.
Wow.
I'll always you can never have enough of it. You can never have enough if it's your one love. So sure. So that's what. But this is the only pair, white and green. It came from Bijan. It's gonna stay with me. It's my only pair. One done. So that's it. That's it. That's how I'm going to end it for today. We got to do round two because I still have other stuff, but there's never enough time. But nonetheless, so that's how I'm going to end it.
Yeah.
For today, bring it all home.
Bobby, go ahead.
yeah, I was going to say, honestly, we're definitely going to do a part two. We're definitely going to make another trip to LA, and we're going to expand on this. But honestly, you've really fulfilled all our expectations and above, beyond that. So thank you, honestly, for joining us. I'm hoping that everyone had a great time watching this stuff. If you're listening, go check out our YouTube and actually watch the video because there's a lot of gems that you really want to see it.
Yes.
For yourself.
Yes.
So
and go ahead, Bob.
No, and that's it. I mean, honestly, thank you for your time. But
I just want to say thank at Dr. Swoop at Soul to Soul SOULIISOUSOLE.
Yep. There's a starts in the soul and it ends in the soul, right?
So,
and we'll make sure to have all those links and tags, all that.
Yeah.
The rest of that, we guys can connect and see what they have to offer. Honestly, thank you guys for welcoming us to, La La Land. I just think so.
You know what? And I've had a good feeling when we ended season one, where we ended on a high note, like my baby, right? And going into season two, I'm confident, right? This is. And you guys are just, I don't know how we can top this in season two. What we just see, I'm looking at Bugs Bunny, what are we doing in life, right?
Yeah.
So this trip was well worth it. And what you guys did was inspired us to make more frequent trips to LA.
Yeah.
Right? Because you guys have so many sneakers and so many Kickstories that we can literally have a series of episodes just featuring these two.
I see what you guys are doing. You guys are old souls like me.
Yes.
And although we're a little older than Bobby, just by a couple of years. But the point is, it's like I see what you're doing. I watch the videos, and it's like Big said, sky is the limit.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's how we're ending it today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cue the music, guys. Season 2. Dr. Swoosh, Soul to Soul, Bobby Kicks, Goatee. We are out of here. LA edition. Peace.
Thank you for watching this episode of Kickstory. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And stay connected with us on Instagram and these podcast platforms listed here. We also want to hear from you. So make sure to comment below and give us your thoughts. Thanks again for your support, and we'll see you next time.